This episode of Unqualified is brought to you by McDonald's, proudly serving communities since 1965. On the drive to and from my parents' house in Washington State, we almost always stop at two particular McDonald's, one in Salem, Oregon, and another in Eureka, California. At the moment, we are in the parking lot of the Salem location, and I just finished a Big Mac and fries. Even though we are just passing through, I appreciate the familiarity and feeling of community. The other day, I was looking through my mother-in-law's photo album and came across a photo where she and her friends are standing in front of a McDonald's wearing their cheerleading uniforms. I usually call my mother-in-law New Mom, but her name is Marcia. Under the photo, Marcia had written a note, and I talked her into letting me read it here. San Bernardino, California. I have so many memories of this McDonald's over the years. My father took me there on what I think was opening day. What a thrill it was as a young girl to order a chocolate shake, hamburger, and French fries. Then there was the time when my cousin Hinda and I were given a tour and allowed to take dill pickles by the cupful out of a huge barrel. We must have eaten 100 pickles each. Everyone in my family knows the story of how I accidentally missed the ketchup container and dipped a fry into my milkshake. Now when I dip fries in my shake, it's on purpose. I remember when I was 12 years old, my mother and my cousin Noel Novak, Larry's brother, picked me up from dance class, and we went for dinner to celebrate Noel's graduation from high school. Years later, when I was in high school, we would go to McDonald's every Friday night after the football game. I wish you could see this photo. Marcia couldn't remember if they won the game that night, but everyone is smiling as if they did. Wherever your local McDonald's is, there's nothing better than that wonderful feeling of community. Well, maybe that feeling is tied with eating a Big Mac. McDonald's, I'm loving it. To a portion where we call a person a stranger.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
And I don't know. Sim knows what the relationship question is going to be.
Oh God.
This is going to be fun.
But this is why we talk about.
Are we Skyping?
Yeah, we're audio
They don't
Skype,
see
not
that.
video Skype. Yeah.
But they, I don't know what they're going to ask us. But you know, the whole sort of conceit of the podcast is that I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Part of the fun.
Yeah. Hello?
Hey, Cecilia.
Hi.
Hi, it's Sim.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Anna is here, and so is Dave Bautista.
Hello.
Hi, Cecilia.
Hi. Hi, guys.
How are you?
So, Cecilia, you are considering an unorthodox life decision. Tell us what's on your mind, and hopefully Dave and Anna can help you out with this. This is going to be interesting, guys. Are you guys ready? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm telling you right now.
I don't know what Cecilia is going to say.
Let's-
But hey, Cecilia, I just want to thank you in advance, though, for submitting the question. But now I'm going to try to shut up. It's hard for me to do that.
So I am considering proposing to my long-term boyfriend.
Oh,
Cool.
Super exciting, but also super terrifying.
I love this. Okay, so so have you guys talked about marriage before?
Yeah. We've lived together for 2 years and been together for 8. So we've definitely talked about it a little bit.
Is he going to be absolutely shocked?
Yes.
She sounds really nervous even talking about
I
it.
know.
Yeah. So I want to get into a little bit of like why you feel like you need to propose to your boyfriend as opposed to the other way around.
I mean, I love this.
I
By
think
the way,
it's great, man. I would have flipped out if my wife
Oh, really?
proposed to me. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I would have said yes in a heartbeat.
Okay, that's amazing to hear, because when I spoke to Cecilia earlier, she really needs advice. Because it's not a question of whether or not she wants how he's going to feel. Right. She just really wants advice on, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cecilia, but you really want advice on how to actually do it, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's my big thing. Because when you're a guy, you buy the ring, and there's a lot of tradition behind you, which I'm sure can be kind of suffocating, but also gives you a little bit of guidance, and I feel like I'm kind of walking out and doing something totally different, which is exciting, but I don't know what I'm doing.
So do you ring size?
Wait, are we really? So you think that she should buy a ring for him and actually get down on one knee and propose to him?
Well, I just want to know, like, the mechanics of it. Like, how is she going to find out his ring size?
Wait, but
that's a hard thing to find out.
Does a proposal have to be a ring proposal?
Doesn't it?
I don't know. Yeah.
He's never going to wear a ring.
Chris, when we were engaged, he wore a ring, which I thought was incredibly. He wore.
But you never proposed to him, though.
No, I never proposed to him, but I thought it was really sweet that he had like a silver ring, a different ring that he would wear as like an engagement ring, which I thought was.
I guess I had kind of.
That's so cool.
He's
never going to wear a ring.
You mean? Will he wear a ring after you're married?
I don't. He works with his hands with motors all day.
Oh. Yeah.
So, I mean, he's told me he has zero interest in wearing a ring simply for the mechanics of having to wear a ring.
Would he get it? Hand. Well, okay, we can get to this part later. I will say, what's interesting? This is a little sidebar. So, Chris, there's that weird thing again. But, so Chris, when he plays characters, as do I, we have to take off our rings all the time. And we usually leave them at home. So every once in a while, there'll be a tabloid blurb about like, Chris Pratt spotted without his wedding ring. What does that mean? And anyway, that's a weird celebrity annoyance thing that I can't really complain about.
Like,
but
the whole ring thing, you can kind of, that's not the most important part of. Yeah.
But I think it is for a woman because.
Well, would she buy herself a ring?
But
yeah, there you go.
Yes,
right.
Say, put this on my finger. Then
that's a really good point. So wait, Are you gonna want to wear an engagement ring too? Are you guys gonna go shop for an engagement ring together, or how's that gonna work?
I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. I would assume I don't have an issue with wearing a ring, so I would be perfectly happy with the ring. Right. But we are also both in our 20s and broke as all can be. Yeah. So I'm not too bothered about the actual ring.
So you guys have lived together for 2 years. You want to start thinking about the future and stuff. Now, are you at all worried that he would be, would be as enthusiastic about the idea of going into of taking this next step?
No, I'm not worried about that at all. We've been through a lot together. We've done long distance. We've had his family's been sick. He's been there through the birth of my little brother. Like, we're in this for the long haul. He's my partner for life, and I'm his. Like, that's not.
So you need practical romantic advice on what to do on a budget on how to propose.
Yes.
Okay. Dave?
I don't. My proposal to my wife didn't go like I planned. So
it didn't. Why?
Oh yeah, it's a whole nother story. No, I don't mind telling.
Yeah, if you want, we would love to hear about it.
Well, it's not romantic at all. But I had originally planned to do it kind of very simple. Like, I was going to take her to the beach. She loves the beach. Grew up on the beach. So I was going to take her to the beach, and we're going to have a nice day. And I was going to do it there. Nothing super special for it. I just wanted to be nice, have a nice environment. And, nothing super elaborate. It didn't happen like that at all. It actually happened the day before I planned on doing it, and it was because of something that happened that just made me very emotional.
Oh.
It's actually more of a funny story than.
But that's nice that it came out of an emotional, spontaneous
and I was
place.
I didn't want to wait. I just felt like it ended up being the right moment for us.
When Chris proposed to me, he had this beautiful plan. Right. We flew to this really special place up in Washington State on a tiny, terrifying plane, like one of the ones that has two itsy tiny seats in the back, and you're like,
the Cessnas or
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But and I totally knew it was going to happen. I mean, he didn't know that I knew, but there were too many things. It was my birthday. There were too many things lining up. We had talked about it for a while. But I loved it for that, also for that reason that I sort of felt I was nervous, but I also felt kind of emotionally prepared that it was going to happen. But I don't think. I mean, if you had all the money in the world, I would say, and if I had more money, I would fly you guys to Tahiti so you could propose to him.
I kind of feel like especially if you don't have money, then like I always think of, what do you guys enjoy doing the most together? I mean, what puts you guys in really good moods? What do you love to do together that you would love doing together for the next 50, 60 years? I mean, it could just be one of those days. I think you just have to.
What about an awesome hike? I don't know if you live
that's just going to make you guys both feel like this is it.
Yeah, like a great view.
Yeah.
A great view is important, whether you're on the beach.
Definitely don't have to spend a lot of money.
So, Dave, if you're that's that exact situation, you want to if you were to be proposed to, what would you want? You want it to be in the perfect setting? Would you want? Would you want your
perfect? But
it would be like a setting where you guys have some history or there's some kind of familiarity with it.
I think so. I think that's what would make me feel good. Make me feel.
Now, would you want a ring, or would you want nothing? Would you just want her to just tell you how she feels and just speak from the heart and say, "Look, you're the love of my life. You're my life partner, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?" Is that the type of thing where it's just a conversation?
If it had gone that way with my wife, I would. Yeah, that would
like that. Okay,
great. And I would when we first got engaged. Obviously guys don't wear rings, but I got a tattoo on my finger, so it's
really?
just kind of a commitment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I told her because I don't like jewelry, I don't hardly ever wear. Every once in a while, I'll wear a watch, but even when we got our wedding rings, I asked her if she'd be upset if I didn't wear it a lot because I work out a lot, and but I ended up, and she said no, she didn't mind, but I ended up now I wear it all the time. I don't know why, I just feel comfortable with it.
Gotcha.
But no, I mean the ring definitely would have been.
Do you think that he would be the kind of guy that would like a private or more public display?
Oh, 100% private.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like in terms of like what Sim was asking, like a hobby, like because I love to hike, so I would. If I were in your shoes, I would take Chris. I would drag him because he doesn't always love to hike, but I would drag him to Los Angeles. There's some great mountain hikes, some beautiful views with like a picnic in my backpack, and
that's always great.
And do something like that.
Where do you guys live?
Yeah. We grew up in New Hampshire, both of us, but we are living in Chicago.
Oh,
so not a lot of mountains, which is actually something he really misses from home is hiking, because we can't
Well, maybe
so
take a trip together. Why don't you go someplace together?
Or like drive, like they're on a budget.
Drive.
So like
if they drive somewhere,
yeah.
Right? Oh, my girlfriend Amy, who went to Northwestern University, so is familiar with Chicago, suggested Lakeshore Drive.
Yes, we spend a lot of time on the lake. We live about 2 miles away.
Yeah, and I think I don't know, a glorious picnic, but I do think a day trip might be really fun. I mean, and maybe even if you guys could afford like a place for a night, a weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you sure she shouldn't do a ring of any kind though? No? Or maybe, or like I don't know, or just something physical to commemorate. Like, I don't know, like a leather bracelet, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think a ring. I don't think she should present a ring to him. I think that's either something that they do together, or he should buy the ring for her. I don't know. I'm just being a traditional guy.
I know.
But
I just wonder if there is something that is like, I don't know,
some type of memento.
Something.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know what that would be though. I'm not.
It should be maybe a piece of a piece of jewelry, maybe, or something for a guy that a guy wouldn't. Maybe I don't know.
I know.
I was going to say watch, but that doesn't make sense.
A lanyard that you made at camp when you were in 4th grade.
A friendship bracelet, or yeah, or like. Does it have to be something, or why can't she just ask him?
It doesn't have to be anything.
I don't think so.
It doesn't have to be
anything. I think it just can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it's a commitment thing,
But it's telling that, okay, so he misses nature. So I think you should explore this, like drive north or wherever. I don't know much about Illinois, but if you can drive and find some, I don't know, cool little place to stay, cool little hike, little lakeside picnic.
Yeah, bring some food.
Plan a,
there you go. Good idea.
Plan a nice little weekend. Do you guys have anything special coming up? Anybody's birthday or an anniversary or anything?
No, all of our birthdays and Christmas and our anniversary and New Year's are all within a month and a half of each other.
Ooh. Okay, well, then I think you just say, baby, I want to take you away for the weekends. We're going to stay at we're
surprise him. Yeah.
Stay at a little motor inn and be in the woods. It's springtime. Oh, that's sexy. Yeah. That's just hot.
So when are you planning on doing this, Cecilia?
I haven't figured that out right now. Right now I'm working about 60 hours a week.
Wow.
Hey.
So I'm kind of waiting for my head to come back above water.
Okay.
We're at the busy period at work, but
will you
in the next couple of months.
In the next couple of months after you propose to him, will you please send me an email so we can so you can update us on how it went, because we would love to.
And I love this. I love it. I love it that you're a romantic and you're taking charge, and I just love it. And please let us know how it goes. Yeah. I'm thinking he misses the mountains, so do nature. And an awesome, romantic picnic.
That sounds excellent.
Hey, Cecilia, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really, really appreciate it. And I'll wait for your email. Congratulations in advance.
Hey, I know. Hey. I know. Please. We want to follow up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I will, I promise.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by OSEA. Wondering what to gift your friends and family this holiday season? Female founded over 25 years ago by a mother and daughter team, OSEA's award-winning cleansers, serums, face moisturizers, and body products give you the results you want. Skin that looks and feels amazing. I recently got to try OSEA's new body butter, which, like their now famous Undaria algae body oil, transforms dry skin without being greasy, has the same incredible scent, and leaves your skin soft, smooth, and healthy looking. If my experience is any indication, you can count on your partner giving you a lot of compliments. This holiday season, stock up and share your new favorite clean skincare and body care with your friends and family. Unqualified listeners get 10% off your first order with promo code ANNA at OSEAMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order, and orders over $50 get free shipping. Gifting is always easier if you start early, so head to OSEAMalibu.com. Use code ANNA. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Warby Parker. Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and the lofty goal of creating boutique quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. Sunglasses, with or without a prescription, start at $95 and, just like eyeglasses, are available through their home try-on program. You just choose 5 pairs and see which ones you like. I was surprised by how quickly they arrived, which presented me with the immediate problem of deciding which ones to keep. I loved all of them, so you can guess what happened. And not only can you feel good about how cool you look, you can also feel good knowing that for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need through partnerships with nonprofits like Vision Spring. Offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams, Warby Parker is committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores. So put your FSA or HSA dollars to good use on Warby Parker prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. Try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try at home for free for 5 days. There's no obligation to buy. Ships free and includes a prepaid return shipping label. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/unqualified. That's WARBYPARKER.com/unqualified.
So let's do one more call. I'm going to call her right now. We're calling Morgan, and she is 24, and she's in Florida.
Okay. So, Dave, when did you, she'll probably pick up the phone, but right away, but when did you guys get married?
Last October.
Oh, that's right, of course. Yeah. Of course, that's awesome.
Hello?
Hi.
Morgan. Hi. It's Sim. Anna's here, and so is Dave Bautista. How are you?
Hi, Morgan.
Hey, Morgan.
Oh, my gosh. Hi, how are you guys?
Yeah, good.
We're great. You are one of our lucky callers because you have a manly man. I'm like sitting across from Dave.
No, Dave, she's talking about me. Dave, there's no way that you're manlier than me. Are you kidding me? Look at me and look at you.
So you get a great man's perspective. But I tell you what, yes, Dave Bautista is just as like amazing in person, both physically and personally, and as you would imagine. Anyway, it's really fun.
She's like, "Who's Dave Bautista?"
No, everyone knows you. Morgan, your live-in boyfriend of several years can't seem to pick up after himself. Dishes in the sink, clothes everywhere. You can't take it any. You can't take any more of it. So Anna and Dave are here to tell you.
Dave had such an emotional
I know. Well,
I hate him. He would drive me nuts.
Okay, well then you have some advice for her then. So I'm gonna hand it over to Dave. Why don't you just tell me what's bothering you, and Dave's gonna tell you exactly what to say to your boyfriend.
I can relate.
Okay. So yeah, we have been together for several years. So, I mean, I had seen the apartment he had when he was living by himself. This wasn't like a big surprise. But yeah, he is super messy, and I guess my thing is he works like really long hours and, 7 days a week jobs. So I kind of I guess I've been kind of lenient so far, but it's kind of gotten to the point where I can't always be his mom picking up after him.
That's not a very sexy position to be in.
I can kind of relate to this.
Okay, Dave, how can you relate to this?
I can kind of relate to this, and I'm not going to tell you if this is probably not the best advice, but my wife is a bit of a slob. God forbid she ever hear me say. And I have confined her to a certain part of the house that she is allowed to decorate, that she is allowed to keep as messy as she wants. And other than that, I clean up after her. I just suck it up, and because I knew what I signed up for.
You're a good man, Dave.
Well, I knew what this. It's not my fault. It's not her fault that I'm so anal about everything being neat. Yeah. And she is a certain way, and I'm a certain way. So I just do it now. I don't complain about it. I just do it. I know she's going to be messy. I just clean up after her, and I just don't even think twice about it.
Okay, so a few questions though for both you guys. So you know how, and I'm not a total slob, but I'm not the neatest person. Like I'll let a few clothes pile up, but then I put them away. I do subscribe to the idea of like messy room is messy mind kind of a thing. So like I make the bed every morning, even if there's a couple things out and about or whatever. But and I think Chris is kind of the same way. But if I give Chris a list, because he doesn't see it, like at least like I'll see that something's messy and I'll sort of put it off for a minute, but I see it. I'm not at the point where it's like I don't see it. Because some people who are habitually messy truly don't see.
I don't think Sarah sees it.
They don't see it. They don't see that like the cupboards are all open or there's dishes in the sink. Right. Like it truly doesn't bother them.
No,
nope. And it bothers me.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah, it doesn't drive me nuts, but it nags at me. It's definitely something that's in my brain that's like, that needs to be done. That needs to be done. But Chris responds really, really well to lists. Like if I write him out a list of chores, he loves crossing things off. He loves it. And so it's different if I ask him to do something because he's usually focused, like most men, on one thing at one time. So when I ask him to do something, he's usually doing something else, so he doesn't hear me, which is also frustrating because then I find myself nagging at him. And then, but if, because he truly doesn't hear it, it doesn't enter his brain. But if I write him a list, and he's told me this before, he's like, baby, just please write me a list. And then he will, I don't know if your boyfriend is of this makeup though, but if I write him a list, he works really hard at accomplishing it because he really loves the satisfaction of crossing something off.
Is he working so much that he's just, is he too exhausted to just pick up after himself, or he just comes home and he just throws his clothes wherever and then he goes to sleep because he's got to get up early to go back to work? Or
And does he complain to you about if the bathroom's messy or something?
Oh, does he complain to me? No, I would say it's kind of like you were just saying, where he doesn't notice it.
Yeah.
Like he does this lovely thing of leaving a wet towel like on the floor, and then he'll just reuse that towel. And I don't know if that's just a guy thing.
No.
But I do think he would respond well to, he is pretty good. Like when I have told him in the past, like, on Sunday we're going to be doing this and this and this. He's really good at responding to that. I think it is just, I don't know. I mean, for me, like you were saying, when it's a mess, it really just, I don't know. I guess it kind of bothers me, and I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
But for him, he does not think about it at all. Like, he could live in a pigsty and be fine.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your neatness level?
I wouldn't even say I'm the neatest person. And I grew up in a household of boys. I wasn't, like, terribly neat. But I'd say probably 10 being the neatest, I'm like a 7.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm like to hover between a 6 and a 7.
So which means that your boyfriend's probably what, a 2?
1 to 2.
Wow.
So he wouldn't notice, let's say you didn't clean the bathroom for 2 months. Would he notice? I mean, if he's using towels off the floor, they probably eventually smell a little mildewy. There must be like a little bit of like a honey. You are getting a little bit of towel rot on your skin there.
If I didn't clean the bathroom for 2 months, which I definitely could never get to that point, but I think he would notice. It would kind of be okay, I'm like, the bathroom's kind of gross. But,
well,
I think he would eventually notice.
It seems super promising that on Sundays, like if you guys set out a list of chores and then you guys could go do something fun as a reward. It's unfortunate that you kind of have to be the leader on this because sometimes I feel that way too. But it's great that at least he has the ability to be cooperative in it.
Right.
And so I definitely think making the list, doing chores together, and then going and doing something fun on a Sunday evening, like a dinner movie, like some kind of reward program, But he gets rewarded for cleaning after himself, which is something that you should be doing anyways.
If
you clean up after yourself, I'm going to take you to the movies.
It's unfortunate, but it really kind of.
Or maybe like I would, if my wife said, "I'm going to make us dinner. Why don't you, clean them, whatever my mess is." The good thing is that he's open-minded about it.
Yeah.
He's not saying, "No, you clean it up."
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
I'm working too much.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Right. It's exactly what he would say.
Yeah, I don't.
Sure.
I mean, I always, I like when my wife stays home and cooks for us because we eat out all the time, and because we're always both busy and around. I like when she does that, and let him
then you don't
be
mind.
productive while she's being productive. As she's kind of that's like a reward thing. She's cooking dinner for them. I don't know. I'm throwing out.
No, that makes sense.
No, it's true. I love it when Chris, like if he does, I know we totally fall into the traditional roles a little bit. But, I love doing laundry and watching reality television while he's outside doing the outside chores, working in the garage, organizing stuff. Like I love that. I love that. It's he's a hardworking guy, but I do think that the list making thing is key. And when I'm telling you what, like when Chris, if I put down, please clean the kitchen on the list, he cleans that kitchen like nobody's business.
That's great.
He takes the scouring. He's inside the burners, cleaning the oven. Right. He does a job from top to bottom. It's just that it takes a little cattle prod.
It's the list, though. Yeah. If it wasn't for the list written down, he wouldn't do it.
What does he do for a living?
He works in politics.
So he would be good with getting a list, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like he's probably used to being either delegating or having chores assigned to him at work. So he could have some chores assigned to him at home.
Yeah, I think the list is a great thing. You say, baby, you knock this out. I'm going to cook us dinner. We're going to sit down. We're going to have some wine. And
Look, it's working for Chris Pratt, so hopefully it'll work for your boyfriend, too.
And then once he starts really getting used to picking up after himself and cleaning, he will start to notice the mess more, and it will irritate him. It might take a year.
Or he'll just make the effort more. If he knows that it bothers her so much, or just if it becomes a routine.
Exactly, and he'll start to see it because you get used to mess and you get used to cleanliness.
For sure.
Will you let us? This is such a great question because Morgan, every couple deals with a version of this.
Yeah.
And it's
not easy living together.
Yeah. It's all the little things.
We're about to embark on this journey in a week.
Morgan, Sim and Amy, who's here on our podcast too. Amy, will you say hi?
Hi, Morgan.
They're about to start living together, and I'm really excited for them.
We have a special guest walking in right now who's about to take a seat.
Chris, will you just say a quick hi?
Chris,
hey Morgan,
is embracing
Chris just got
Dave
home
right
from work.
now.
Will you just say,
hey Dave, come over here, sit over here, so you can listen, so you can hear her.
Honey, Morgan, you and
we were talking about you for the last 10 minutes, by the way.
Morgan's husband is a mess.
Boyfriend or husband? Boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
He's honey, he's a bit of a slob. She doesn't know what to do. So I said,
forgive him.
I said that you respond really well to lists.
Yeah.
It's
true. I work well with a list. If I don't have a list, I forget.
That's right, because you don't hear me when I ask you to, because you're singularly focused.
Right. Usually, what's at the top of my list is not listening. And if you give me another list, I'll look at what's the top of that one.
Check.
But Dave was saying that his wife is a little messy, and Dave is very, very clean and neat.
Super, yeah.
Oh, really?
And that irritates me too. But I've gotten used to it, and I've accepted it. And she's gotten better about it because she knows how much it drives me crazy. So she puts more of an effort. But she's still a mess. I still end up cleaning after her just because I'm anal, stupid stuff. But now I'm so accepting of it because that's just the way she is, and she just doesn't realize that she's leaving stuff all over the place. So
totally.
I just pick it up. I don't even think twice about it. I don't let it annoy me. I just pick it up. There it is.
Morgan, do you think there's chores like we were talking about earlier? Because I was saying, honey, that you like to work outside. You like to work in the garage. There's chores that we like better than other chores.
Yeah.
I like laundry. I like dishes. Because then I can watch my stupid programs. Mm-hmm. And Chris loves to be outside. Do you think there's chores that he prefers? You guys could do make a list of your top 5 favorite chores.
I'll try and make something his favorite. But I think that the list is actually a really good idea because he is, I should say, he's so good. He's the nicest guy on earth, but it's just something where when I tell him to clean or whatever, it just goes in one ear and out the other. And so I think to have a list and like tape it on his computer or something.
If you make it super broad too, then it's going to be, if you say you got to clean up after yourself, that's like way too broad for guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Make it
Be specific about it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Usually it's, I'll do that after I'm done with the video game, and that never happens.
Right. And you have to be even specific, like with the cleaning product. Like, wash, like clean the sink with, I don't know, whatever. I don't.
What chores do you have that are outside? Do you like live in an apartment or a house?
We're in a really small apartment, so unfortunately not much outside.
Right.
So yeah, mostly it's just, I mean, for him, it's a lot of like clutter, like, laundry that gets folded doesn't get put away for 2 weeks.
Right.
I think he would really just live out of a bag if he could.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think the list is the way to go. Let's see how that works out.
Yeah.
And put like something at the bottom of the list, like have the list be like, put away laundry, put away DVDs, clean up bathroom,
go down,
wipe down tables.
That's it.
You get blowjob, and see how fast he gets to number 5.
I was saying she cooks him dinner while he's knocking out the list.
No, wait.
I was going to say,
Dave suggested dinner, and Chris is suggesting blowjob.
and I was saying you get to go down on me.
Right. It's like,
I'm not comfortable with you
night out of
offering
it.
One of
Make
us
a day out of
get
it.
done first.
Make a whole day out of it, man.
Hey, Morgan, seriously though, this is a problem that affects everybody. Every single person can relate to this, and please let us know how it goes and if the list works. And he sounds like a really nice guy, and I'm glad that. But I totally hear what you're saying, that you don't want to become a nag. It does not feel sexy to be nagging somebody, and so I don't know. Let us know how the list goes, and we can continue to like work on the problem, because this is a problem that everybody knows.
Thanks, Morgan. We really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks, Morgan.
Morgan,
Bye,
yay!
Morgan.
Thanks. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by State Farm. And in honor of their surprisingly great auto insurance rates, I'm going to tell you about a particularly surprising day on set. It takes me a long time to read a script. For almost every line of dialogue, I will stop to figure out why my character would say it, how it fits in the conversation, and how it's going to come out of my mouth. Between the lines, there are larger chunks of text which describe everything else happening in the scene. Maybe what a room looks like, what characters are wearing, and what they're doing. As I often underestimate how long everything in my life takes, I know I can make up some time by reading those larger chunks a little faster. I got the script for Overboard about 6 months before we started production. I read it in my warm living room, wearing comfortably warm clothes, sipping from a warm mug of tea. Somehow, it never occurred to me that when you jump off a boat in the middle of the ocean, the water is surprisingly cold. And it doesn't get any warmer on take 2. Here at Unqualified, we love State Farm because they provide coverage that meets your needs at a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by ZocDoc. Who gets excited about trying a new restaurant that has 2 out of 5 stars? When it comes to finding healthcare, don't ratings matter even more? ZocDoc is a free app where you can compare doctors, read reviews from real patients, and even make same-day appointments. When I finally called to reschedule my dentist appointment, I was told that my dentist had been retired for nearly 3 years. In my defense, parking was a nightmare. Through ZocDoc, I found a new dentist who had great reviews, took my insurance, and whose office was actually within walking distance. I was also able to book an appointment instantly without talking to a receptionist who made me feel guilty about not having my teeth cleaned for 3 years. My new dentist didn't make me feel guilty either, and only suggested I floss a little more often. Whether you need a primary care physician, dentist, dermatologist, psychiatrist, eye doctor, or other specialist, ZocDoc makes healthcare easy. Now is the time to prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/unqualified and download the ZocDoc app. Sign up for free and book a top-rated doctor who might be available as soon as today. That's ZocDoc.com/unqualified.
This is amazing. So we have both of you guys here right now. This is exciting.
It's so strange to see Dave not in Drax makeup. Like, I forget. I've spent, I think, the majority of the time that you and I have spent together, you're in the head-to-toe Drax makeup. Yeah. And he always gets there before me, leaves after me, because his makeup process is so long to put on and take off.
I was telling him that he, I think that I should help him find some really great storytelling podcasts. I mean, I'd love, you can listen to ours or whatever, but like something that can really take your mind off of the process, because there's some really great ones out there.
We can recommend a few good ones where you just have them in your ears. It's an alternative to music. I'm sure you listen to music while you're getting your makeup done, but this is an alternative to music, and there's some compelling podcasts out there.
Yeah. There's good news ones. There's great. Yeah. Anyway, I'll write you the list.
But I wanted to know, Chris, when you found out that Dave was going to be your co-star in Guardians, what did you know about him beforehand? How thrilled were you? How excited were you? Was there any apprehension? And then how has that changed from the time that you've known him, worked with him, and through this new movie that you're doing with him right now, the sequel?
Oh, man. Well, we screen tested together. So that was a big thing. I think James knew that he wanted Dave. Yeah. And I think he thought he wanted me as well. And until he saw the two of us together, both what we brought to it with just the rhythms of our own spirit, but also size-wise,
right?
It really helped. Drax needed to be huge. Drax the Destroyer's a big dude, but I'm, for Hollywood, a pretty big guy.
Yeah, real big.
So that, I think everything lined up and all the boxes checked off. It had to be a physical thing, which so often it is. But it also had to be the best person for the role. And both Dave and I walked into these roles with a script that was already written before James knew either of us.
Yeah.
And so I would say the way that it's changed is now in the second script, James is writing these characters to really with our voices in mind.
Right.
Whereas before it was just Drax the Destroyer, and it was Peter Quill / Star-Lord, and we did our best to make those voices work and to fit them to us, and we would amend some things in the process of the first film. Now it feels like a suit that's really tailored to us, don't you think?
Absolutely.
And it just fits right. Like all the jokes, like Dave is crushing. He's getting the biggest laughs.
Right.
Really, you'll see
from James, because James, I think James gets such a kick out of Drax.
No, James, I do too. It's really funny.
You do an amazing job. Your delivery is incredibly intense and serious and dry, and even that clip that's been floating around of your audition,
it's so funny.
It's so great.
Yeah.
But I remember Chris telling me that he was going to audition with you and how excited he was. To be able to do that.
Yeah, because I had a rare insight into this type of thing, because my friend Ben Davis is, Ben, he's an acting coach and an actor in LA, but he's also an acting coach, and he does a ton of things like this where he's just a good solid actor, and he's friends with James, and he's a big dude, and so he had been reading the role of Drax for all of the auditions for James. So I got kind of like an insight to all the he didn't ever tell me anything he wasn't supposed to, and he had signed a non-disclosure agreement, but I got the sense that there was one guy who was Dave,
because he was there for my audition.
He was there for your audition, and Ben knew that you were going to get the part.
Yeah.
Now, Chris,
he told me that.
you knew Dave from his WWE persona.
Yes.
Bautista, the Animal. He made it to the top of that industry, and now here he is working with you on a movie. Now, what I want to know, what surprised you most about Dave on a personal level?
you know, this is probably the answer you'll hear from everybody, is just that Dave is a really gentle and kind, humble person. So that he's not a bad guy, you know. And
right.
The animal, Dave, the animal Bautista was like, you know, kind of like a bully and went out there and was mean. And you know, so so big and bold and brash and you know, Dave is just like the complete opposite. I mean, I really think like. I mean, no one ever.
He's
I don't imagine
romantic.
anyone.
Is this your first time on the show?
I've done this a couple of times.
He's popped in a few times.
We haven't done a full show with him yet.
No, yeah, okay. No, this is cool. But yeah, I think that's probably the thing that would be the surprising. But that was, you know. But in the first 10 minutes of knowing him,
you knew you were going to be lifelong friends with him almost immediately. I remember you were telling me, like, oh my God, he's the most amazing guy ever.
Oh yeah, we've had a really good time since the beginning and since London.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we all went out. It was me, you, and Jaimin, and we went out to that meat place, that steak place, and we were walking, and it was like 3 pretty big dudes, and we were like.
Did you ever tell Anna about our romantic day there?
Oh yeah.
I want to hear about it.
Me and Dave went on
like a man date.
Like a man date. I was like, it was just one of those things. Like, hey man, you want to go grab some food? Yeah, let's go. And then we go to this place, and
it was
really romantic. And kind of like,
it was like violent.
Yeah, there was like a violent.
It was like afternoon. It was sunny, so we were sitting like out on the patio, and he ordered like this big sausage platter. There's just all kinds of stuff wrong with it.
I don't think anybody would be mistaken as to who the bitch in that relationship would be, though. Like I was like, oh man, at least 40% of these people here think that this giant dude is going to take me and just fucking rail me.
I always tell people that, and that, you know, the funny thing is like you're so big, and that was my big concern with the first screen test, was that you were so big. Remember, you had to take off your boots and stuff so I would look bigger.
Yeah,
because you're just a.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not, you know, automatic that you would be considered, you know, the bitch in that relationship. I mean, they might.
I will say, Dave, the first.
They might think, you know, well.
No, it'd be pretty automatic. But in most cases, I wouldn't be. But this one, I just got paired up with the wrong cellmate. I'd be like, oh shit.
Chris, honey, before we wrap this up, I do have one rapid fire question for you that we asked Dave earlier. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, Sim, where are the papers? I just want to ask Chris really quickly this one question. Okay, here we go.
Got it?
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather have sex with a goat, but no one would ever find out, or not have sex with a goat, but everyone thinks you did?
Oh. Well, I've already done the first one. Oh, no, I blew it. Now everyone knows. Wait, so the thing is to either have sex with a goat and no one knows.
No one will ever find out.
Or not have sex with a goat, but everyone thinks I did. I would definitely fuck the goat. Like how...
Maybe that was my answer,
Can
too,
you
basically.
guarantee that no one will find out?
Yeah.
How many times do I get to fuck the goat?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my husband, Mr. Chris Pratt. Hey, Dave, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Dave, what did you pick?
Poor goat. I said not have sex with a goat.
Yeah, no, he and I were on the same page.
I couldn't live with that.
These two were
Poor
like
goat.
kind with the goat. These two were like, it's okay if everyone thinks they did. They will know in their heart that they never had sex.
But you're getting me to reconsider now. Now that I think about it.
I will know, but you would know in your heart that every person you see is like, looking at you, thinking to themselves.
I don't think I thought it completely through. It's just one moment. Like how long? You don't have to go. You don't have to go to completion, right?
I mean, how hot is the goat?
It's a hot goat. It's a hot goat.
Yeah, for 10 seconds.
Oh, I couldn't live with that. Imagine the poor goat just looking back, like, what the hell, man?
See, Dave is a wonderful person.
He is a wonderful.
He's better than all of us here combined.
Yeah, that is true.
Hey,
he is. He really is.
Thank you, Dave, so much. Thanks, dear listeners, and please follow us on Instagram and on Facebook, and please give us a rating if you if you feel like we read them all. And
it's been an honor to have you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And honey, thank you as always for being game to join.
Of course,
goat fucker.
No, that's you, bro. No one knows about mine. That's you. You're the go fucker. You're the go fucker. I'm the guy who's like, and I'll even be like, gross. I can't believe you did that.
That's going to be my new wrestling nickname. It's not going to be the animal anymore. It's going to be animal fucker.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thanks again.